So when we're talking about a religion as old and as diverse as Hinduism, there's tons and tons of vocab. And we're not going to even try to cover, nearly all of them or say that these are the most important terms. But these terms are going to provide the foundation for some basics of the Hindu traditions and also give us some common vocab that will be useful as we learn different things throughout this unit. So the first topic we're going to talk about is samsara, and that put simply is the cycle of rebirth and reincarnation. In Hinduism, after you die, you are reborn into another body. As long as you remain in the cycle of samsara, it's ever continuing. You just keep being reborn. According to the Hindu tradition, what we think of as life is based on an illusion known as Maya. Illusion enables a person to think that he or she is an autonomous being instead of recognizing the connection between oneself and the rest of reality without realizing that Atman equals Brahman. If you don't understand that, according to the Hindu tradition, you're falling under the illusion of Maya. While there's a lot of great aspects of life, the continuous cycle of birth and death is something that a lot of Hindu followers are trying to escape, and that is known as moksha. Moksha is escaping from this cycle of samsara. And there's different opinions of how you achieve moksha, but a lot of people say that it's by fully grasping the unity or oneness of all things, and by doing that, the believer has the potential to break the illusion upon which samsara is based and achieve moksha, the ultimate liberation from samsara. And Lupe Fiasco even has some bars about moksha. In his 8-minute epic song, Murals, he finishes it by saying, "Practice in stillness, real still till he realizes realness, defeat samsara, achieves nirvana and brilliance." And even in song, Lupe Fiasco ends the cycle of rhymes, the different verses, by referencing moksha, defeating samsara and leaving that cycle. You're probably familiar with the term karma. And put simply, it's the totality of one's actions and inactions. Times when staying out of an issue is good, but times when it can be a real problem. Think about you see someone getting bullied and you decide to do nothing. Or you see someone suffering really bad and you decide to do nothing. So the amount of karma you earn determines where and what you're reincarnated as, whether that's a human, an animal, or even, what social class are you born into as a human? How enlightened are you starting life? And so while it might make sense to think that you just have to achieve as much karma as you can and eventually you'll be given moksha, that's not how many people in the Hindu tradition see it. They say that moksha is about being unbound by samsara and karma, not just acquiring good karma, but leaving that system. And now we go from karma to dharma. And dharma in the Hindu tradition basically means your duty, your job, what you're supposed to do. It includes ritual action, it includes social order. In order to have a functioning society, different people need different roles. We can't all be the president. We don't need everybody to be a farmer. We don't need everybody to be a factory worker, an artist. So you're supposed to do what you were made to do. In early Hindu tradition, it wasn't about what you were born as, but what you were good at, what it just felt natural for you to do, what it felt right for you to do. Later, some people power used it to say, if you were born here, if you were born poor, you are meant to stay poor, you are meant to stay in that underclass. The caste system is much smaller and much less official today, but you still do see some remnants of it. And so next class, we're going to talk about the Bhagavad Gita, and this is actually what that's a picture of. And one of the main lessons from the Bhagavad Gita, there's a ton, but one of the main lessons is if you're a warrior, be a good warrior. Be the best warrior can be. That's how you fulfill your dharma. That's how you keep balance in the world. And I just want to make special note that the Hindu concept of dharma is slightly different than the Buddhist concept of dharma. You could argue that they're the same, but we're going to look at them very differently. Or at least we're going to look at dharma and Buddhism as one small, narrow lane of the dharma that Hindus talk about. And so right now, to help you understand these terms and help you remember them and retain this information, it'd be best to write a sentence or two with these 4 terms: samsara, karma, moksha, and dharma. Feel free to hit pause or rewind before you make this sentence, and then I'm going to show you mine. Last chance to pause before I show you my sentence. So my sentence isn't perfect, but it gets the job done. If you follow your dharma and earn karma, you can continue to move up through samsara, eventually being wise enough to achieve moksha. So it wasn't the karma that got you all the way to moksha, but it helped spur the conditions that helped you become wise enough to achieve moksha. And one final vocab for today is the term avatar. And this is based on the Sanskrit word avatara, which means descent. And so if you think of the movie Avatar with the blue people, it's very similar how they had one body, but then they moved into another body of the people of Pandora. And so the Hindu concept is very similar. Gods will transmigrate, think reincarnate or manifest in a different form. Typically, if they're an avatar, they're going to be in human or animal form, and that's typically to stop evil. Different gods might also be different manifestations of the same god. Later today, we're going to learn about the different manifestations of gods like Shiva or Vishnu. It's generally said that Vishnu has 10 avatars. We've already experienced 9 of them, and his last one will come at the end times of Earth. In the next few weeks, we're going to be focusing on 3 specific avatars of Vishnu: Rama, Krishna, and the Buddha. All right, so make sure you document your knowledge in one of these 3 ways. Submit it to Basic Hindu Vocab on Schoology, and I'll see you back in class.